For thousands of years, the Galactic Order ruled the cosmos. A coalition of powerful alien civilizations, they saw themselves as the pinnacle of evolution. Humanity, a latecomer to the stars, was barely considered worth mentioning. When Earth's first envoys arrived at the Galactic Council, they were met with laughter. A primitive race from a backwater planet, the Zelvari delegate scoffed. Let them mine asteroids or trade in trinkets. They are no threat. And so, humanity was relegated to the lowest caste, barred from advanced technology, forbidden from expanding beyond a few star systems. The Council saw this as mercy. They should have seen it as a warning. For decades, humanity played the role of the obedient servant. We mined their ores. We built their ships. We even fought in their wars as disposable mercenaries. But in the shadows, we watched. We learned. The Council had made a fatal mistake. They underestimated human ingenuity. They assumed restricting our access to technology would keep us weak. They had no idea we were studying their tech, reverse engineering their weapons, and improving them. By the time the Council realized humanity had built its own warships, it was too late. It began with a single battle. The Zelvari, ever arrogant, declared war on a smaller species, the Mirani, who had sheltered human refugees. They expected a swift victory. Instead, they got annihilation. When the Zelvari fleet descended on Mirani Prime, they were ambushed by human warships. Not the ragged second-hand vessels the Council thought we had, but sleek, heavily armored dreadnoughts with weapons beyond anything the Order had ever seen. The first battle lasted 15 minutes. The Zelvari fleet was obliterated. Humanity had declared war. And the galaxy trembled. The Galactic Order panicked. The humans had been nothing but a minor race. How had they developed such power? A grand armada was assembled, with war fleets from a dozen species. 2,000 warships were sent to crush the Terran uprising. The battle took place at the edge of human space, near the colony of Proxima V. The Council was confident in its victory. But humanity had learned from history. We didn't fight fair. As the Grand Armada entered the system, they were met with silence. No resistance. No fleet. Just empty space. Then the mines detonated. Thousands of cloaked explosive satellites, our own invention, turned the void into a firestorm. Half the armada was destroyed before the first human warship even appeared. And when we arrived, we did not offer surrender. We only offered vengeance. For the first time in history, the Galactic Order knew fear. They had always assumed war was waged a certain way, with honor, with ceremony. Humanity did not care for their traditions. While the Order spent decades building single massive warships, we built thousands of smaller, faster, deadlier ones. We used AI-assisted targeting, railguns capable of shattering moons, and kinetic weapons traveling at near-light speeds. For every human ship lost, 5 alien warships burned. And then, we unleashed the dreadnoughts. When the TSS Retribution appeared over the skies of Zelvari Prime, the war changed forever. The Order had built battlecruisers a mile long. We had built warships the size of continents. The Leviathan-class dreadnoughts were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen, floating fortresses bristling with weaponry. Plasma lances that could cut fleets in half. Railgun cannons that turned planets into lifeless husks. The Zelvari homeworld's defense fleet never stood a chance. And when the dreadnoughts fired their planetary bombardment cannons, Zelvari Prime burned. The other Council races scrambled for a solution. Some tried to negotiate. Others tried to flee. It did not matter. One by one, the core worlds of the Galactic Order fell. The Vothari warlords, who had once enslaved entire species, were reduced to ashes. The bureaucratic Rahl, who had sneered at humanity's barbarism, begged for mercy. We gave them the same mercy they had given Earth. None. The Council, once the unshakable rulers of the galaxy, was no more. The last of the resistance gathered on the artificial world of Korath, 9, the Order's most fortified planet. 50,000 warships, the remnants of dozens of species, prepared for a final battle. They thought we would come with an armada. We sent one ship. The TSS Ragnarok, the largest human warship ever built. It entered the Korath system alone. The Council laughed. Until it fired. A single shot from the Ragnarok's primary weapon, the God Spear cannon, pierced the heart of Korath, 9. The artificial world shattered, its defenders perishing in an instant. The last resistance of the Galactic Order was gone. Humanity had won. With the Council crushed, the surviving species of the galaxy had no choice but to kneel. Humanity did not demand tribute. We did not demand slaves. We demanded something far worse. Obedience. We established the Terran Dominion, with Earth at its core. Every species that had once mocked us was now subject to our rule. Some resisted. Their planets are now dust. The rest learned their place. Now, the galaxy belongs to us. No longer are we the forgotten race, the overlooked species. We are the rulers of the stars, the architects of the new order. The remnants of the old council serve us now, their fleets repurposed into tools for humanity's expansion. And in the void beyond, we see more civilizations, distant empires that have not yet learned what the order did. They will learn soon enough. Even in the aftermath of the war, some remnants of the old Galactic Order refused to accept humanity's rule. Fleet commanders, rogue warlords, and surviving nobles fled into the unknown regions of space, hoping to rebuild in secret. They thought they could hide. But they underestimated us. Humanity's reach extended beyond mere warships. We had AI-driven reconnaissance fleets, stealth drones that could track ships across light years, and spies among every species. One by one, the exiles were found. Some were given a choice: swear loyalty to the Terran Dominion or be erased from history. Most chose wrong. Not all species accepted their fate quietly. A desperate resistance movement formed in the shadows, striking at human outposts with stolen technology and guerrilla tactics. They believed they were fighting for freedom. We saw them as an opportunity. We let them attack. We let them grow bold. And when they gathered in one place, fortifying their so-called secret base on the moon of Sirius V, we unleashed the Black Fleet. In less than an hour, their rebellion was wiped from existence. The message was clear: there would be no resistance. Only obedience. With the galaxy under our control, humanity's next step was to secure its rule. That meant one thing: total militarization. We created the Terran Legion, a force unlike any the galaxy had ever seen. Entire planets became training grounds. Every species under our dominion was conscripted, some willingly, others forcibly. We did not just conquer. We assimilated. The best of the alien races were given a choice: serve in our legions or die. And soon, our armies were no longer just human. They were something greater. A legion of warriors, bound by the will of Earth, enforcing our rule across the stars. For years, humanity had been focused on controlling the former Galactic Order. But beyond the mapped regions of space, something watched. The Dominion's deep space probes discovered signs of another empire, one older, larger, and more advanced than anything the Order had ever known. They called themselves the Varakir Imperium. Unlike the pathetic rulers we had crushed, the Varakir were a true challenge. Their technology rivaled ours. Their fleets were massive. And worst of all, they did not fear us. They saw humanity as a threat, and decided to eliminate us before we could spread further. They had no idea what kind of war they had just started. The Varakir struck first. A preemptive assault on Dominion-controlled space. 3 human colonies were vaporized before we even knew what was happening. They thought we would be caught off guard. They did not know that humanity thrived in war. The Dominion's response was swift. The Black Fleet launched a counterattack at the Twin Sun system, where the Veriker had stationed their invasion force. The battle was unlike anything before. Thousands of warships clashed in the void, plasma fire lighting up the darkness. For the first time in centuries, humanity faced an enemy that could match us in firepower. And yet, they were still aliens. Still bound by their outdated tactics. We fought smarter. We fought harder. And when the TSS Ragnarok arrived, we fought with overwhelming force. By the battle's end, the Veriker fleet was nothing but wreckage. The Veriker did not retreat. They did not beg for peace. They escalated. The war that followed was brutal, fought across countless star systems. The Veriker were not like the old Galactic Order, they did not fear destruction, nor did they hesitate to use scorched earth tactics. Entire planets were turned to glass. Space stations were ripped apart by gravity bombs. Billions died. It was a war the Dominion had never expected, a war where we were no longer the hunters. We were fighting something equal. And for the first time in our history, humanity was on the defensive. Humanity had a choice: fight with conventional means and risk extinction, or unleash our darkest weapons. We chose the latter. The Titan-class dreadnoughts were projects once deemed too dangerous to exist. Warships large enough to house entire cities, equipped with weapons powerful enough to destroy entire solar systems. The first of its kind, TSS Apocalypse, was activated. It did not merely fight. It eradicated. The Veriker forces that had once pushed us back now faced the full power of the Dominion. And this time, we were not merciful. The war lasted a decade. In the end, only one battle mattered. The Veriker homeworld, Kthalos, was a fortress planet, surrounded by orbital defenses, protected by entire fleets. They believed it was impenetrable. They forgot who they were fighting. The Terran Legion descended on Kthalos in an unstoppable wave. The battle in orbit lasted hours. The battle on the surface lasted days. The genocide lasted seconds. When the TSS Apocalypse fired its primary cannon, Kthalos ceased to exist. With the Veriker Imperium crushed, humanity stood unchallenged. There were no more rival empires. No more alien coalitions. No more threats. The Terran Dominion became more than a government. It became a god. Entire species worshipped us as the supreme rulers of the galaxy. The few that resisted were eradicated. The rest were absorbed into our endless machine of conquest. The galaxy no longer belonged to many. It belonged to one. Humanity. There is no rebellion. There is no war. There is only the Dominion. Humanity has spread across the stars, reshaping entire worlds, bending the laws of physics to our will. Our fleets number in the trillions. Our technology surpasses that of the gods the old civilizations once worshipped. We are unstoppable. And beyond the edges of our empire, in the darkness of deep space, we sense something watching. Something waiting. It does not matter. Whatever is out there, whoever dares to challenge us next, will learn the same lesson the galaxy did. Humanity does not kneel. Humanity rules.